Alright, and we are live. Welcome back to Gurong Pinoy. And of course, good evening po sa inyong lahat na nandyan sa Pilipinas, no, sa iba't ibang bahagi ng ating bansa. Good evening po. Welcome back. And of course, tonight we are going to be talking about professional education, the same 20 items that our members of Team Piaget have answered. So again, if you are still not a member of Team Piaget, it's very easy to become a member. Just send a message to our Facebook page. Our Facebook page is also Gurong Pinoy. Again, as a gentle reminder, those of you who are watching us through our Facebook page right now or maybe on our YouTube channel, your video is just a preview, no? So mapuputol po yung inyong video for you to join Team Piaget so that you can join the quizzes, so that you can download this material, the PowerPoint presentation that I'm using, so that you can watch the full-length video. Please send a message to our Facebook page. And of course, please do support Gurong Pinoy by sending us your stars as you watch us live on Facebook. And you can also send us your super chat, super sticker on YouTube while you watch us live. All right, so again, tonight we will be talking about professional education. These items are still from September 2019 left. But before anything else, please join me as we have our opening prayer. We thank you for this new day, Lord. Help us to embrace all that it may hold for us. To hear the bird song and have new melodies in our hearts. To see the sunrise and create beauty with our hands. To touch the leaves that grow afresh and allow your love to touch our hearts. To smell the fragrance of the flowers and breathe in the wonder of your creation. To dwell on the beauty of our world and study and fathom your miracles. To enjoy the conversations we have and the lessons we go to. May we drink in all the goodness you have for us. Amen. All right, then of course, we would like to welcome back the members of Team Piaget, especially yung ating Team Thunders, yung ating mga team veterano, yung mga matagal ng membro ng Gurong Pinoy, no? Yung mga almost a year or more than a year na members ng ating Gurong Pinoy. And of course, we now have a new team which is called Team Piaget. So again, if you'd like to join us, download our materials, download the videos, watch the full-length video, please do send a message to our Facebook page. Mag-send po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page. If you are watching us live on Facebook right now, the same page po pwede kayong mag-send dyan mamaya. If you are watching us on YouTube, lipat po kayo mamaya sa ating Facebook page and of course send us a message so that we can help you, no? We can help you. There's free pre-board, there's free final coaching in Team Piaget, and the membership is until September 2022. So again, magpa-member na po kayo. It's very easy, it's not that expensive, and I'm going to make sure that I'll help you pass the let. Okay? Now, once again, we would like to welcome everyone who are with us tonight. And of course, if you are new, we welcome all of you. Welcome po sa lahat ng ating mga newbies. Marami din ako nakita mga newbies kanina. Welcome po. And of course, yung mga dating members na natin, mga nagbabalik, maraming salamat. And tonight, we will be discussing professional education 20 items from your quizzes. Please do like our video, share this video, start a watch party, tag your friends. We will be starting in just a few minutes. Okay, magtag na po kayo ng inyong friends, mag-start na watch party, share this video, and of course, please do like this video. Okay, we will start in just a few minutes. Good evening po sa inyong lahat. Watching from Tambulig, Zamboanga del Sur. Facebook user lang po yung nakikita ko. Good evening po. Okay, so maraming iba't ibang bahagi ng Pilipinas. Meron ako nakita kaninang taga Saudi Arabia. Maraming salamat po. Okay, if you are ready, again, please do like this video, share this video, start a watch party, tag your friends, send us your stars, and of course, send us your super chat, super sticker. Okay. Ma'am Sharon Braga, I will be checking on that later po, ma'am. Okay, we start with question number one, professional education. Number one, how can you optimize learning for preschool children? Is it letter A, employ technology? Letter B, make learning fun? Letter C, construct well-furnished classroom? Or letter D, use visual media aids? What do you think is the correct choice for number one? Number one, number one po tayo. What do you think is the correct choice? Okay, I see letter B's in our comment box. Please put your answers in your comment. Okay, 1B, sabi ni Ma'am Edlin Flores. Watching from Island, Pinang, Malaysia. Ma'am Nuraima Sailila Noor, good evening po. From Kapalong, Davao del Norte, Ma'am Melanie Neri Chavez, good evening. Okay, I see a lot of letter B's. Some more answers, please. More answers for number one. From Antique, Ma'am Resty or Sir Resty Maza, Kruhay, Antique. Malapit lang sa amin. Okay, letter B, letter B. Wala akong nakitang iba kundi letter B. From Pangasinan, Ma'am Maylene Kunanan. Good evening. Okay, now how can you optimize learning for preschool children? Okay, your pinaka-hint natin dito ay preschool, no? So that means these are the kids who are not studying pa, not getting education formal, no? Hindi pa siya formal education. Usually play school pa lang siya, no? Socialization, laro-laro pa lang yung preschool natin, no? So the usual that they teach, yung pinaka natuturo pa lang nila would be numbers, colors, shapes, letters, not too much, no? Wala pa yung math and all those. Okay, so are you going to employ technology? Will you be using technology? Will you make learning fun? Will you construct well-furnished classroom or will you use visual media aids? Now, yung letter A mo and letter D ay the same. Okay, so letter A and D are very similar, technology and visual media aids. Okay, so you can easily just eliminate A and D here. You're left with make learning fun and construct well-furnished classroom. Okay, we all know that both of these are important, but of course, the correct choice here is letter B. You have to make learning fun. As you all know, preschool children's attention span is very short, no? Napaka-short pa ng attention span nila. Hindi pa sila makakaupo ng matagal. Their concentration is still very short, no? And so what you'll do is that you should give them activities that are really fun. If you can ask them to move, then ask them to move. And of course, you should vary your activities, and these activities should be really short. Okay, so short lang yung mga activities mo, not too long. And of course, do not give them lectures, long lectures, hindi po pwede. So make learning fun. That is the correct choice for question number one. And I know that many of you are correct. Congratulations. Walang sumigaw ng awit. Okay, so we move on with number two. Medical science favors pregnant women talking or singing to their fetus as part of blank. Is this letter A, mid-natal learning? Letter B, postnatal learning? Letter C, natal synchrony learning? Or letter D, prenatal learning? Which one do you think is the correct choice? Awit para mamaya, sabi ni Sir Al-Rashid. Ina-anticipate mo na yung awit, sir. Wag naman. Sana makapasa. Okay, which one do you think is the correct choice? Number two, Prof. Ed. Okay, what's your choice for number two? All right, I see a lot of letter D. Some more answers. Letter D. May A. May nakita pa akong C. Now, we all know this to be very common, no? So usually they'd say you have to sing, you have to talk to your child. Mamunay da Bimbisa, first timer. Hello po, welcome. Okay. Now, or sometimes you would listen to classical music. No? So classical music. I'm right now pregnant. No? So I'm pregnant. I'm 13 weeks pregnant, and it's gonna be a boy. So we're very happy. And of course, as I've told you yesterday, umuwi na po yung aking pamilya. No? So I'm left here. I'm going to try to finish my school year. I will be finishing the school year, and then uuwi na din ako ng Pilipinas. But then again, I will be giving birth in May. Okay, so I'm very excited to go home with my baby, no. So baby ko ay magiging lalaki, lalaki magiging lalaki. Okay, and of course we are all very excited, and we are all feeling blessed for the new blessing in the family. Okay, so going back to number 2, medical science favors pregnant women talking or singing to their fetus as part of. Is it letter A, midnatal learning, kalagitnaan ng iyong pagbubuntis? Letter B, postnatal. So postnatal, that means tapos na, nanganak ka na. Natal synchrony learning, sabay kayong nagli-learn ng inyong anak? Or is it letter D, prenatal learning? And of course, the correct choice here is prenatal, because this happens, or you are doing this while your baby is still in your womb, no? So habang buntis ka pa, that's prenatal. Okay, so prenatal, basically that is a term we use for that gap or that time when the baby, the fetus, is still in your womb. Okay, so prenatal learning is correct. Okay, so it's very important that you, of course, should stay healthy. You should watch out what you're eating. Okay, so watch what you're eating, stay healthy, stay active, and of course, be safe during your pregnancy, so that of course you can also make sure that your baby is going to be healthy. Okay, number 3. For Sigmund Freud, which is the deciding agent of human personality by which we reason and consider the best response to situations? Is it letter A, id, letter B, superego, letter C, ego, or letter D, unconscious? Okay, which one is the correct choice? Wait, move on agad. Ang bilis mag-move on ni Facebook user. Maraming salamat po for those who are saying congratulations. Thank you. Sampal tuloy. Sample ng kanta, Ma'am Tin. Saka na pag meron tayong pa-contest, ma'am. Watching from Mindanao, Ma'am Nikki Amordonglas. Good evening po. All right, so number 3, which one do you think is the correct choice for number 3? Ma'am, di ko po ma-clear ang live stream. Hanapin niyo po yung 3 dots, ma'am. At i-click niyo po yung video quality, i-change niyo po sa pinakamataas na quality. Okay, so C, I see a lot of letter C's for this choice or for this question. Letter C, ego. First time mag-join ng live, watching from Laak, Davao de Oro, Sir Johnny Bandivas Arnoco. Good evening po. Okay, for Sigmund Freud, which is the deciding agent of human personality by which we reason and consider the best response. Now, yung pinaka-hint mo dito would be the terms you use your reasoning and you use your best response to situations. That means you are not being you take your time, okay? You're not being impulsive. You're not using your impulse. Now you are using the best response to certain situations. Would this be the id, the superego, the ego, or the unconscious? The correct choice here would be letter C. The ego po would be the choice, no? So ego yung ating answer dito. You use your reasoning, you consider the best response. Remember, the ego is the balance between the id and the superego. And the ego is our reality, no? The ego is your idea of who you are. That's your true self. That's ego. Okay, now, according to Sigmund Freud, there are 3 factors, no, that would rule our personality. So first, you have the id. Your id is the animalistic side. Okay, so the id is really not thinking. It's not using its reasoning. It's not using logic. It does not think. Okay, and also it cannot wait. It's very impatient. Okay, so sabi dito ng id mo, I need to eat this. I need to eat right this second. Okay, so the id does not care even if you are inside the church, even if you have a class, even while you are doing something very important where you cannot eat. The id wants to eat right now. Okay, he wants it and he wants it right now. So yan yung id, no? This is your animalistic side. This is your the one that would rule your hunger, your thirst, your sexual drives, no? Yung libido mo, under siya sa id. Okay, so may pagka-animal itong id natin. Now, on the other hand, the other extreme would be your superego. Sabi naman ng superego mo, you can't do that because you're in the middle of an important meeting. Your superego is the moralistic side. Okay, so moralistic side itong superego. Sometimes hindi naman siya realistic, no? Kasi it's super at the moralistic side. It's the opposite of the id. And of course, the ego is the balance. It does use reasoning and it uses the correct response to certain situations. So sabi ng ego, you can eat, but maybe just eat something small. Maybe you have to ask permission. Maybe you can eat some crackers while you're listening to the meeting. Okay, or you ask permission from your boss if you can eat because you're starving. No, of course hindi din naman gumagana yung isip natin kapag tayo ay gutom. Okay, so the ego is the balance between the id and the super ego. It is our reasoning. It is our idea of ourself. Okay, so ego po yung ating hinahanap, not the id, not the super ego. Now, ano naman yung unconscious? This is still under Freud's theory. Id, ego, and superego are the three parts of the human mind as labeled by Freud. The id is fully unconscious. Okay, so yung id mo is unconscious. You cannot control it. Okay, it's something that you are not aware. The ego and superego, on the other hand, are conscious. Okay, so conscious itong ego and superego. The area directly below the surface of the water in our illustration here is called the pre-conscious mind. Okay, so this one is your pre-conscious mind, because although it is currently unconscious, you are still not aware of it, but it can easily be brought to our awareness. Okay, so again, yung id mo is totally unconscious. It is uncontrollable. It is something that you are not aware of. The ego and the superego, on the other hand, the ego especially, it is conscious. Your superego is partially conscious siya. Okay, but then again, we were looking for the term ego for number 3. So ego po yung ating tamang choice for that item. No, for number 3, ego is the correct choice. All right, number 4. Which of the following processes usually comes first in developing curriculum? Is it letter A, selection of educational content? Letter B, organization of learning experiences? Letter C, evaluating educational experiences? Or letter D, identifying learning goals and objectives? Okay, which one is the correct choice? Number 4. Number 4 na po tayo. Number 4, which one is your choice? Okay, question number 4. What's your answer for question number 4? Okay, I see D's in our chat box. Letter D, watching from Davao, Ma'am Donna Efondo Ando. Good evening po. All right, letter D. I see so many letter D's for number 4. Tama kaya yung letter D? All right, going back to question number 4, which of the following processes usually comes first in developing curriculum? So this one is part of your curriculum development, okay? If you still have not watched our videos on CurDev, no, sa video natin on curriculum development, we have 3 different videos, may part 1, part 2, part 3, nasa YouTube channel po natin, no? So if you still have not watched that, balikan nyo po yan later. There's so many videos on our YouTube channel that can help you as you prepare for the LET, no? So meron po tayong live stream na playlist, may Gen Ed tayo, meron tayong Prof Ed, balikan niyo po yung lahat, no? So try to review all those videos. Okay, so the first thing here, hinahanap natin is the one that comes first. Okay, so which is the one that comes first in developing curriculum? And of course, the correct choice is letter D. You identify learning goals and objectives first. That would be the first thing. Now, this is according to Tyler, no? Ralph Tyler's linear model of the curriculum. Some curriculum experts like Tyler say that the steps are followed in a sequence or straight line, kaya tinatawag natin siyang linear model. This model that assumes that curriculum decision making follows a straight line is called linear model. So first, you'll have to know your aims. No? So select your aims, your goals, your objectives. After you have selected all those goals, your objectives, you select the content and learning experiences. Ito naman usually ginagawa natin, di ba? We usually start with the objectives. You start with your objectives, yung standards mo, no, yung inyong minimum learning competency sa DepEd. Okay, so you start with your objectives, and then based on your objectives, you select the content and the learning experiences. What will be the activities that you'll give your students inside the classroom? Then, of course, you organize the content and the learning experiences. And lastly, you evaluate the outcome. Okay, you evaluate the outcome so that you can check if your objectives have been hit. Okay, so select the content or select the objectives. Select the objectives, your goals, then select the content, organize those content, and evaluate. Okay, so that's according to Tyler. Now we move on with number 5 in acquiring language competence. What is the process of attaching meaning to words? We had a similar question yesterday in our Gen Ed, no? So the question yesterday was in linguistics, which one concerns with the meaning? Okay, so parang parehas itong question na to. Is this letter A, phonology, letter B, syntax, letter C, semantics, or letter D, morphology? Okay, what's your choice for number 5? Number 5? Number 5 na po tayo. Okay, I see a lot of letter C's. Letter C's. Okay, maraming letter C. Okay, so again, in acquiring language competence, what is the process of attaching meaning to words? Okay, meaning to words. And the correct choice here, of course, would be letter C, semantics. Okay, so semantics is the field of linguistics that is concerned with meaning. Okay, so if you are talking about meaning, you will be studying semantics. Phonology, of course, is pertaining to sounds, no? So kaya meron kang phonics. That's phonology, the study of the different sounds. Syntax is how you arrange, kung paano mo i-arrange yung different words to form a meaningful sentence. Okay, so arrangement of words to form a meaningful sentence, that's your syntax. Morphology naman ay kayarian ng isang kataga, no? So the structure of one word, that's your morphology. That's the study of morphology, no? Structures of words. Does it have any prefixes? Does it have any affixes? Okay, so is it a root word? Is it a noun? Does it end with an ing form? No, so that's your morphology, the structure of a word. That is the study of morphology. But here, of course, we're looking for meaning, and so the correct choice is letter C. That's semantics. Next one, number 6. The best feature of Tyler's rationale is, okay, we've just talked about Tyler. This is pertaining to Tyler's curriculum development model. Is this the planning phase? The best feature, we're looking for the best feature. Planning phase, evaluating the experiences, organizing the experiences, or identifying the purpose. Which one is your choice for number 6? Now, again, gentle reminder for those of you who are watching us on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, your video is just a preview. So again, for you to enjoy the full-length video, download our materials, please do send us a message to our Facebook page and join Team Piche. Okay, what's your answer for number 6? Number 6, what is your choice? Okay, number 6, I see D's. We are looking for the best feature in Ralph Tyler's rationale. Watching from Negros Occidental, Ma'am Lenny Lutrago. Good evening po. Humabol si Ma'am Lenny. Number 6, which is the correct choice? Ano ba yung pinaka-importante when you are making your, say, when you are making your lesson plan, when you are making your lessons, preparing your lessons, which one is the most important step? Which of course is the best feature of Tyler's rationale of how we can plan or we can develop our curriculum. Is it a planning phase? Is it evaluating the experiences? Is it organizing the experiences? Or is it identifying the purpose? The correct choice here, of course, would be letter D. Okay, you first identify the purpose. When you say identify the purpose here, we're talking about the objectives. So what are your goals? What are your objectives? What are the minimum learning competencies that your students need to learn? Katulad ngayon, no, sa modules, napakadami ng lesson na kailangang tapusin ng bata, no? Kaya sukang-suka na yung bata sa modules, no? Dapat kasi i-declutter nila, no? Dapat yung pinaka-importante lang talaga yung binigay nila. Meron pa silang minimum ano yung hindi ko maalala kung ano yung term, no, yung pinaka competency lang na kailangan, but napakarami ng sinisiksik nila sa modules, and so pabigat talaga sa bata, no, because of course by the use of modules, it is not the same as when the child is able to go to school. Iba yung situation, so you cannot impose, no, sana hindi nila nilagay lahat ng competencies na kailangan nilang ilagay kasi nga iba yung experiences ng bata ngayon. Hindi sila nakakapunta ng school, wala silang interaction with the teachers. Sana yung pinaka-importante lang, hindi yung siniksik lahat, no? Lahat nilagay na dun sa module. Tapos hindi matapos-tapos ng bata, hindi matapos-tapos ni nanay, ni tatay, no? And of course, hindi din naman ma-check ni teacher kasi napakarami ng kailangan yung checkan, no? So, napaka-illogical if I were the DOH. If I were the DepEd secretary, sana diniclutter. Okay, so sana hindi naging pabigat yung modules. They should have made sure that the students would still learn, but they should have only learned the core, no? Yung pinaka-core lang talaga, hindi yung sobrang dami na hindi naman plausible, hindi na logical. Okay, so here, identifying the purpose is the correct choice for number 6. Number 7. Okay, before we go to number 7, again, remember, these were the steps. These were the things that you've seen in our previous questions now. So define your objectives, you identify the activities, you organize those activities, and you evaluate. Okay, so ganun pa rin to, no? This is still by Ralph Tyler. All right, number 7, implementation means putting into practice the experiences which have been written in the following, except from letter A, syllabi, letter B, course outline, letter C, curriculum guides, or letter D, internet resource sites. Move on agad, sabi ni Ma'am Angie Pinaaling. Ayon, MELCs, most essential learning competencies. Most essential pero ang dami, no? Siksik na siksik, hindi matapos-tapos. Oo, MELC, tama. Wait, pero move on. Watching from Iloilo, hello po, Ma'am Gigi Kalugas. Letter D, 7. Some more answers for number 7. What's your choice? Number 7. Okay, number 7. Karamihang sagot ninyo ay letter D. Implementation. When you say implementation, this means putting into practice the experiences which have been written. Okay? Saan natin nakikita yung mga experiences? When we talk about experiences here, we're talking about the activities that are meant to be done by our students. No? So the students inside the classroom. When we implement those activities, we based it on the following, except. Okay? We are looking for the exception. Okay? So is it letter A, syllabi? Letter B, course outline, letter C, curriculum guides, or letter D, internet resource sites. The correct choice, of course, will be letter D, internet resource sites, okay? Because, of course, we have except, okay? So, meron tayong exception dyan. Letter D for number 7. Number 8. SBM succeeds along the paradigm shift, not simply as a strategy, but as a letter A, system thinking and orientation. Letter B, an act of compliance. Letter C, a form of tokenism. Or letter D, bean counting orientation. Okay, which one is your choice for number 8? Again, gentle reminder for those of you watching us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, yours is just a preview. So again, if you'd want to join us, download our materials, enjoy the full-length video, please be a member of Team PSA. You have your instructions there in our video. Send us a message to our Facebook page. Okay, I see a lot of letter A's. Okay, so letter A. Ano ba yung SBM? We'll go to that later. Okay, so sabi dito, SBM succeeds along the paradigm shift, not simply of a strategy, but as, is it letter A, system thinking and orientation. Letter B, an act of compliance. Letter C, a form of tokenism. Or letter D, bean counting orientation. Okay, the correct choice here, of course, is, maraming namang tama, no, letter A, system thinking and orientation. Puntahan na muna natin yung ibang choices dito before we go to the meaning of SBM. Okay, so when you say an act of compliance, you are simply doing it. Okay, you're simply doing it. Sumusunod ka lang, no? So it's just an act of compliance. When you say tokenism here, this is a practice of doing something, such as hiring a person who belongs to a minority group only to prevent criticism and give the appearance that people are being treated fairly. So yung tokenism, para siyang pagiging plastic, no? Para siyang pagkukunwari. Kunwari, fair ka dahil hinire mo tong isang tao na to na galing sa minority group, no? Because you want to prevent criticism and gusto mo na mag-appear ka to be fair. Okay? So that's tokenism. Para siyang plastic. Parang plastic yung tokenism. Now, bean counting, on the other hand, is a consequence of a view of the world as consisting of things to be manipulated rather than people to be interacted with and conversed with and responded to. So when you say bean counting, para kang may beans, no, na kinakount mo. Okay? And when you are bean counting, you think of these beans as people that you can manipulate. Okay? So say sabihin mo na sa school na to, kunwari district supervisor ako and I'm doing bean counting. Sa school na to, ito yung mga mapagkakatiwalaan ko. Dito sa school na to, ito lang, 5 lang, no? So you are counting the people that you can easily manipulate. Okay? So you view the world as consisting of things to be manipulated rather than people that you can interact with. Okay, so bad din itong D, no? So C, D, and B are all wrong. We are looking for system thinking and orientation. Now let's take a look at what your SBM is. So again, when you say SBM, this is school-based management. This is a strategy to decentralize decision-making authority to the individual school site, of which devolution of authority is the fundamental concept. This is a recent trend in education reform that stresses decision-making on the school level. In the past, school policies were set by the state and the districts. Now the trend is for individual schools to make their own decisions and policies. So yan yung tinatawag na school-based management. Yung nagdi-decide would be the people in that certain school, hindi yung school district, hindi yung province nor hindi yung Department of Education as a whole. So depende sa pamumuno ng kung sino namumuno sa school at hindi lamang yung principal, no, yung principal ay wala pong masyadong power, dinicentralized din, no, kahit yung principal ay wala siyang sole authority. All the stakeholders are involved. Okay, so meron kang parent, teacher, community, association, the school, the students are also involved, no? So meron kang student government, for example. So everyone is involved. The stakeholders of that certain school is involved. So you decentralize decision making, hindi na ginagawa ng state, hindi na ginagawa ng government, it is school-based. Okay, so it has been a recent trend in education and has been very important, very effective. Okay, so your choice there would be letter A. Letter A po yung ating tamang choice. All right, number 9. At the beginning of the school year, which projects can best determine student mastery of the previous year's subject matter prior to introducing new subject matter? Is it 1, journal, number 2, submitted portfolio, number 3, mock-up, number 4, realia, and you have your choices at the bottom. Okay, which one is the correct choice? Tokenism ay plastic, parang ex ko. Sabi ni Sir Al-Rashid, nag-break na kayo, sir? Kaya pala wala na kayong post ng pictures nyo. Dati kasi palagi nakapost si Sir Al-Rashid. Okay, what's your answer for number 9? Number 9 po tayo. What is your choice? Number 9?